Hello Minecrafters everywhere, my name is Cubic and welcome to a tutorial. Today guys, we are going to be exploring and I'm going to be showing you guys how to build minecart loading and unloading systems in your world. Two in particular, a very basic unloading system and a very basic loading system, and these are the two systems that I normally use in pretty much every single build that I do with minecarts. So the first things you're going to need some redstone, you're going to need repeaters, you're going to need comparators, and redstone torches. You also need in the miscellaneous or transportation tab, you will need either a minecart with hopper or a minecart with chest. Now we're going to use a minecart with chest today, but it really doesn't matter. Just don't use a minecart with TNT. So we'll get a powered rail and some regular rails. You can use, you need at least one regular rail in the system. You can use powered rails for the rest of it if you'd like to. And then a block of your choice. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to use some stone bricks. Let's not get the monster ones. Alright, so yeah, and that's pretty much it. So what we're going to do is set up a basic system that is going to have a couple blocks. Maybe we'll throw down a couple powered rails in the center there. Let's grab ourselves a lever and we'll power that. And basically what I'd like to do is get items from here to here and have them unload. So what we're going to do is start off, also need a hopper, my apologies. We do need a hopper and a chest if you like. I would suggest it just because you don't want to do two hoppers, and I'll explain in a second. So let's grab ourselves a chest and the inventory management. Yeah, we'll just leave that there for right now. So basic system, we're going to start out with the unloading system. So what we'll need is a hopper facing downwards and then a powered rail on top. Then we'll need a block here. Now it's very, very important that there's a block here. Otherwise the minecart will not, when this powered rail, this minecart is essentially going to come from this direction over to here, over to the right. So what the issue is that if there's no block here, the minecart won't go backwards. It'll just kind of sit here and not know what to do. So the idea is that having a block here would just allow it to bounces backwards and goes the opposite direction to get more items. So then what we'll need is a chest. We'll get the chest out of the way. The reason I use a chest is that if you use a hopper, like if we did a system like this, the comparator that we use, that will sit right here, cannot detect items going through this hopper if there's another hopper going through them. Only there's a slight delay with the chest that it cannot detect, and I will demonstrate here for you guys. So guys, I'm going to do a very basic explanation on how the system works and why not to use two hoppers here. So what we're going to do is have a, I have my redstone lanterns on me, yes I do. We'll have a redstone lantern here and a redstone lantern there. So now if we access this hopper, you guys will see over in the right hand side of the screen is the redstone lantern. Now if we put an item into the hopper, we see that, you know, it's not turning on. It's not turning on. And it all is going into this hopper down here. But if we go over to here, now if we put the items, let's put two items into here, we'll see that redstone lantern turn on. Now if we put two items into here, we don't see the redstone lantern, or we don't see the redstone lantern turn on. If we put two into here, we see that redstone lantern turn on. There's a slight delay here with the chest. That's what we're targeting. So let's go on with this system here and get this up and running for you guys. So what we'll need to do is have a hopper here and then a comparator, and then that comparator is going to go to a redstone torch, block to redstone torch, and on top of that redstone torch we're going to place down a block. Okay, and then all we're going to do is put down a redstone repeater there, and that is pretty much it for the unloading system. We can put a stack of redstone lamps in there. Let's actually put something that we can see, but it's not going to take forever. And then you guys can kind of see that whenever an item enters the hopper, it gets a signal from the comparator to invert the redstone torch, turn off the repeater, and then that turns off the redstone signal going to this block, which turns off this guy right here, the power brand. So if we push this thing into here, we'll see that the minecart stops and unloads and should be sent back. There we go. Alright guys, so now we're going to move on to the next part of the system, which is the loading station. Now the loading is pretty simplistic. There's nothing crazy to it, but it's the same concept. Just have a block here at the end so that way it can bounce backwards, and then you should be fine. If you'd like to have like a hopper here, we'll just do a hopper from the top because that seems like the most common occurrence. You can do it from the side if you'd like to, and I might set up a basic system to do it from the side. But all we're going to do is tell this guy here, when there's items in the hopper, to have a block here, a redstone torch, and then a redstone. In fact, we don't want that connecting, so we'll have a repeater there, keep that from connecting. So whenever there's items in here, you'll see that thing turn off. Whenever we take items out, it'll turn on. So now we have a pretty basic unloading system, loading and unloading system. So let's just send this minecart here to go get the items. Take that down a little bit so that way it's not so slow. Once it receives those items, takes those over and unloads them here into the chest. There we have it. So, and then it'll just keep bouncing back and forth until items are put back into this system here. Alright, everybody, so that was a very basic tutorial. Some of you probably already knew this, but some of you, I'm surprised that not a lot of people use minecart systems for moving items. So it's just an easier way than having to set down a bunch of item elevators. You can just use minecarts now. But yeah, anyway guys, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.